three cards, ace, two, and wash the three. We'll take it, put it right here on the bottom, and it rides all the way up. Boom, and we're just getting started. Let's do this. Here we go. Of course, to start, we take the cards right out of the tuck box. Now I need three special cards. You probably know what they are. 3, a 2, and an ace. Now you know what they are. You probably don't know why they are. These cards are actually master manipulators of the deck, and I'll show you exactly how. So 3, 2, and an ace. I'll take the ace first, put it on the bottom of this packet, right, facing the other way. 2 on the bottom of the packet as well, then 3 on the bottom. So from top to bottom, we have ace, 2, and then 3. So I'll put it down, ace, 2, and 3. Now the way that these cards are master manipulators is because they use this deck as an elevator. They can literally go up and down whenever they want. So if I put the 3 on the bottom here, and we riffle it up, you'll see not only does the 3 not stay on the bottom, but it actually finds its way up to the top. We have the 3. Now if you missed that, we can do it one more time. Smash it to the bottom, riffle all the way up, and you'll see that it jumps up right to the top. Now the 2, let's do it a bit differently. We'll take the 2, put it on top, and it's going to take the ride all the way down, and you'll see it takes the ride down to the bottom of the deck. But we can actually repeat this process because we did the same thing with the 3, so why not do the same thing with the 2? We put it on top, riffle it down, and you'll see it's on the bottom of the deck. Now the ace is a bit more entertaining because the ace doesn't have to enter through top or bottom. It can go somewhere in the center, anywhere in the center actually. We can push it in, and let's just say it wants to come to the top. That's exactly what it will do. It'll come right up to the top. We can make this even more interesting. I feel like I was controlling the cards pretty much this entire time, but I want to give you some level of control so you feel like it's not just me doing everything. So we have 3, 2, and an ace, right? So that 3 is on top this time around. We're going to take 3, 2, and the ace. What's going to happen here is we're going to pretend this deck just has a bunch of floors, right? I'm going to riffle through it like this. You can call out stop whenever you want. Ideally somewhere like 2/3 of the way in, 1/3 of the way in, and then somewhere near the top. So we're going to riffle like this. You call out stop whenever you want. Let's say right around here. We'll take this packet, put it on top of the 3. Then we riffle a bit further, let's say closer to the bottom, right? Let's say around here, all right? We'll take this packet, put it here. And then the last one, we'll riffle through, let's say stop around here, all right, perfect. We'll take this packet, put it there. The rest of the cards we don't really need. And because these cards use the deck like an elevator, you'll see the 3 made it to the top, the 2 made it to the top, and the ace made it to the top. If you already know how to do basic moves like the double lift or the glide, then you can do this today. And if not, don't worry because I'll walk you through it step by step. You'll be able to demonstrate how these 3 cards have a mind of their own. Let me show you how it's done. I want to preface by saying I was definitely better at card tricks like a month ago. I don't know what happened to my handling, so apologies in advance. But of course for this trick you need a 3, a 2, and an ace. And maybe before we actually dive in, this is an intermediate level effect, so it will take some practice if you don't already have these skills built up, but this is the best way to do it. So you have a 3, a 2, and an ace. You put that right in front of the spectator. You want the 3 on the bottom, and you want the ace to be the top card. You're also going to grab a pinky break underneath the top 2 cards as you're displaying this as almost a misdirection, right? So you're showing this off and you're grabbing a pinky break. Now there are multiple ways to grab a pinky break. My favorite way to do it is to use the pinky count, right? You grab 1, 2 cards and you easily get a break that way. A lot of people find that difficult, and I made a full tutorial on it. You can go check it out, but it's a lot easier than you may think. If you're not comfortable doing that, as you're going ahead and doing this, you can push off 2 cards like this and pull it back and grab the pinky break that way. But of course, I would always recommend the pinky count because it's very inconspicuous. No one actually sees what you're doing when you're just holding the deck. So you grab the pinky break underneath the top 2 cards, and you say you have an ace, 2, and 3. These cards are master manipulators, or whatever story you want to craft, because story is going to be important. So now you take the 3, put it on top like this, take the 2, put it on top of that, take the ace, put it on top of all of them, and you show these cards. You square them up, and you pick up this whole packet as one. The spectator's perspective, they should be thinking this is 3 cards because they have no other reason to think otherwise. Now what you're going to do is you're going to turn all these cards face down one at a time, and what that's going to cause is the 2 indifferent cards, right, the 2 indifferent cards that we have, to come to the top of this packet. So we take the ace, I peel off with my thumb, I hold this packet in a biddle grip, thumb on the bottom, middle finger and ring finger up top here. Using my left thumb, the thumb that's holding the deck, I peel off the top card, turn it face down like this, put it on the bottom of this packet, and I show it to the spectator, right? Show it to the spectator. Repeat that again with the 2, and repeat that again with the 3. Moving all the cards to the bottom, then I throw that back on top of the deck. They're just gonna think you turned all the cards face down, so you say aces on top, 3s on the bottom, and then you deal off 1, 2, 3, and deal ace, 2, 3, so they know exactly what cards where. Now you can further the story by explaining these cards are master manipulators, and this is the reason. And by the way, this trick is called the elevator, and as you can see, the cards will start elevating up. So you take this deck, put it on top of this packet here. Now it doesn't matter in this case if you flash the bottom card, but ideally you don't want to do any kind of flashing because that could be a giveaway later on in this trick. Smash that on top of the 3, which is an arbitrary card, or actually that's an ace, but you smash that on top of the 3, and then I like to do a front riffle like this, or you can do a riffle in the back if you feel more comfortable, just to show that the card takes the elevator all the way up to the top, and now you're going to perform a double lift. Now, like I said in the beginning, I like to do a pinky count, so I count off 2 cards, and double lift is lifting over 2 cards, showing them as 1. I have a tutorial on double lift as well, I'll put the link on the screen. But easiest beginner method of double lift, you're holding the deck here in your left or non-dominant hand, come over with your dominant or right hand. I used to just count 2 cards like this as I was talking, right? So just count 2 cards like this. As you're talking, put your pinky here and lift this whole thing over to show like this. Or if you're really a beginner, you can just pick it up and show it like this, and that's a 3. So you put that back down, and then you say, let me do it again because you may have missed it. So since it was a double lift, you're now taking the card, a random card that's on top, or the 2 that's on top, putting it here, smashing it down, and again, riffling up. Now you of course want to make sure not to expose that bottom card, since it is the 2, riffle it up, and once again, you're going to lift up the top card. But you want to lift it up in the exact same way you lifted it up the first time. Otherwise, first time you lift it up like this, second time you lift up like this, something's weird. Some weird stuff's going on. So you want to lift the cards up in the exact same way, and you show the 3. Again, make sure not to flash the bottom card there. Put the 3 here, face up. Then you're going to come over with the 2, say the 2 can do something similar, except it's going to ride the elevator down. Put this random card on top. I like to smash it down. I like to riffle down this way. And then I take my right hand, again, hold the deck in a biddle grip. My pinky's involved as well, like this, and show the 2 has come to the bottom. From here, you need to do a move that's known as the glide. Now, the glide is taught holding the deck like this, but for me that feels unnatural, so I like to hold the deck like this. And what's going to happen is you're going to clip the top card with these 3 fingers and shift it down. Now, it's very hot and humid for some reason in the room I'm sitting in, so it grabs a clump of cards. But ideally, if you do this in better conditions, you can just shift one single card over and you'll see the card that's underneath it. So what you're doing is you're showing, you do the shift as your, once your hand turns down, and then you grab the card that's not the 2, but the card right above it, which in this case is the ace. So you're actually just placing that ace on top, just getting ready for the next one, and the 2 is still on the bottom. You repeat the same thing, show the 2 is on the bottom. Then you take this card, put it down as well. Turn the deck face down, grab what they think is the ace, and put it somewhere in the center. And you can say the ace is very skilled because it can go right in, take the ride anywhere. It can only take the ride up. I'm just gonna be straight with you. It can only take the ride up, but just saying it can take the ride anywhere makes it a bit more like the ace can do so much. It's so cool. So it goes into the center, you can riffle it up, and again, you wanna reveal in the same way, not some weird kind of reveal, just like this. Ace can come up to the top, put that face up as well. Now, as you're talking through, this is, again, this trick relies heavily on the storytelling aspect as well as a bit of misdirection. As you've just done this, you're now going to turn the deck face up and grab a break underneath the 1, 2, 3 cards. This, of course, is going to take practice being able to do the pinky count, but I promise you the video I made on the pinky count will definitely help. So those 3 cards, you have a break under them. You want to grab this, ace, 2, 3. Ideally, you should actually grab 3, 2, and ace. So the ace is technically the first card here. You square everything up like so. The spectator is just going to think you're squaring up random cards. You grab this whole packet. Ideally, you don't want to show the card that was here. That could throw people off, right? You do this, turn this face down immediately, take this whole packet, turn it face down on top of the deck. And now you're going to deal again right to left, ace, 2, and 3. This is where it gets a bit more fun, and this is kind of where I struggled in my performance because it's kind of hard to do a bit of misdirection on this aspect. You're going to do what's known as the slip force. So as they riffle through, ideally you want them to stop here for a second and say, let's see if we can get all these 3 cards to simultaneously travel up to the top. And what you're going to do is known as the slip force, like I said. You're going to riffle through the side like this and have them call out stop about 3/4 of the way in, about halfway in, and about 1/4 of the way in. So as you riffle, they call out stop, let's say somewhere near the bottom. These 3 fingers are holding the top card here. Now keep in mind, the top cards are the ace, followed by 2, followed by 3. So as they riffle like this, they call out stop here, for example. These 3 fingers are holding this top card, only the top card, very tightly. If your hands are very dry, this will not work because my hands have been dry. Right now I'm in a humid place, so this is actually working out fine. But if your fingertips have a bit more moisture on them, this makes it a bit easier. So as you riffle through like this, they call it stop. Grab all the cards on top and you're going to slide them outward. So as you slide out, 1 card is going to remain grabbed. And like I said, this is not doing so well because it's humid and these cards are sticking to each other. So as you pull this out, 1 card is going to stick to the rest of the deck like this, and that's your ace. Put that here. Then of course you riffle again. Do the same slip force. Take this, put it here, riffle again. Let's say stop here. And you can do this, put that down. The rest of the cards are pretty useless. Put them off to the side or throw them away, whatever you want to do. And then you'll see you have the ace, you have the 2, and you have the 3. Now let's put all this together slowly and see if you could follow the moves. We have a 3, we have a 2, and we have an ace. We're going to take all these cards, and these are master manipulators, right? We're going to put them right here like this. I'm going to take the ace, turn it face down on the bottom here, then take the 2, turn that face down on the bottom here, take the 3, turn that face down on the bottom here. Take this whole packet, put this here, and I deal off ace, 2, and 3. Now the 3 we're going to use as an elevator. We smash this down, we elevate all the way up, and then you see that it's going to jump up to the top of the deck. We take it, put it down here again, smash one more time, we show that it jumps up, and then we have the 3 on top. Now we take the 2, put it on top, we can smash it down like this, riffle it down, we have the 2 on the bottom of the deck. And then we can take the 2, put it on top, just to repeat the process one more time, riffle down again, we have the 2 on the bottom. Put this here. The ace is the most fun. We take the ace, we put it somewhere in the center, we riffle it up, and then you can see, of course, the ace jumps up to the top as well. Now we have these 3 cards. I want to get your involvement in this process as well. So we'll take all of these. Keep in mind the 3 is on top, or the ace is on top when the cards are face up. Square all these cards together, and we'll put them face down here. 3 is on top, so we have 3, 2, and ace. From here, I'm going to riffle through the side. You call it stop whenever you'd like. Let's say bottom 3/4 of the way in, halfway in, and 1/4 of the way in. So 3/4 of the way in, you call it stop here. We'll take this, put this here. Halfway in, call it stop here. All right, we'll take this here. Further in, let's say here, perfect. We'll take this, put it here. Rest of the cards we don't really need, get rid of them. And then we see the 3, we see the 2, and we see the ace. Hope you followed that. Don't look at this card trick as a set of moves we just clumped together. Rather, see it as structure that's used to tell a story. And that's how you nail a performance. Let me know down in the comments. Do you want to see easier tricks, harder tricks, tricks at the same level? And we can plan content from there. And if you try out this trick, let me know. Huge shout out to all my Underground Club members, and thank you, love you, see you soon.